and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. We start with Raphinha, as it has been reported that Leeds United have issued a final deadline to Barcelona for Raphinha deal. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then secondly, talking about this very funny and crazy report that Bayern Munich believe Barcelona will not exist in 1 or 2 years. That is their own reason for acting the way they have been acting when it comes to Lewandowski to Barca, not letting him leave there because they think that maybe at some point Barca will be liquidated. We are going to be looking at that as well. So guys, as we get right into it, please make sure to subscribe, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a video. Give the video a like and make sure to watch the video right up to the very end. Barca! 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 As Ousmane Dembele's situation continues to get the more complicated, Barca are in transfer market in the hope of recruiting a right winger. While Ferran Torres is more than capable of playing in that position, the team needs a different profile, someone who is more ball-oriented. The Raphinha to Barca saga has been going on for a few months now, with initial reports stating that the club are looking to sign him if Leeds were relegated from the Premier League. Why that would have made the move very easy for Barca? Barca are still in the race to sign him. Competing with Chelsea, Leeds, it seems they are getting frustrated with a delay in the deal and have issued a deadline for Barcelona till Thursday to send a final offer, according to Ben Jacobs. The Lily Whites have already brought in Luis Sinisterra to replace Raphinha and want to offload the Brazilian as soon as possible. Chelsea had reportedly reached an agreement with Leeds to sign Raphinha for 70 million euros but could not convince the player just yet. The winger is in fact dreaming of a move only to Barca and has conveyed as much to his agent Deco. Barca already have an agreement on personal terms with Raphinha, but are unable to match Chelsea's offer just yet. They are waiting to trigger their second economic lever in the form of the sale of 15% of their TV rights, which could bring in nearly 300 million euros. Not to mention, Raphinha is probably not the club's first priority. They want to bring Robert Lewandowski before anyone else in order to reinforce their attack. Jules Koundé, Cesar Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso also find themselves on the list. The race for Leeds United's Raphinha still remains a hot topic of discussion. Barcelona still facing a lot of issues in order to acquire him, and of course financial issues. Even though Barca might have the money after the sale of 10% of the TV rights last week, they just don't want to get into the deal just like that. But knowing fully well that Chelsea are also in the picture and Chelsea had already agreed with Leeds United fully, Barcelona still have a lot of work to be done. So it will not be surprising to see Barca acting fast on it, which they are not even acting fast. They are feeling relaxed. Definitely, personal agreements with the player count a lot when it comes to transfers, which of course Barca have the upper hand in that, as Raphinha had already agreed a deal in principle with Barcelona, personal terms, but not with Leeds United. So that is where the problem lies right now. So of course, from what we have been talking countless number of times, Barca must match Chelsea's offer, because the reports last week came out saying that Barca have offered 60 million euros with Leeds United, but it's not up to Chelsea's 65 million euros or 70 million euros. So Barca still need to add something if they want to convince Leeds United to fully agree with them, because that's what Leeds want. They want a higher offer, which as it stands, Chelsea are the one, up. Chelsea are still the one who are favorites. So let's see how things go. So they are saying that Leeds United have offered a deadline for Barcelona to bring in their offer, and one should expect if Barca want to go for another offer for Raphinha, it should be really good, right? It should be an offer that matches Chelsea's own. In the beginning of this pursuit of Raphinha, Barca had never imagined that they will go up to this amount. But just the fact that Chelsea, just came out with a full amount and set the standards very high, Barca have no choice. We quite remember the very first offer Barca made for Raphinha was 35 million euros, which was too small according to Leeds United. So when Chelsea came out with that heavy offer, Barca, if they really want to get him, must up their standards, must match Chelsea's offer, and they have no choice in doing that. And looking from the way things are going, Barca are really desperate, given as Ousmane Dembele's contract has expired and there is no hope if you come back to play for Barca again. So Barca just need Raphinha by all cost, and that is what they are trying to do. So if we don't know if Barca will really follow the deadline set by Leeds United to make that final offer, or they will just be reluctant and possibly lose him to Chelsea, right? Because Chelsea have the upper hand. So let's see how things will look like in the coming weeks. Then on to the next story of discussion. Speaking on the Totally Football Show podcast, reliable Bayern Munich reporter Raphael Hongsten has offered crucial updates on Robert Lewandowski's situation with regards to Barcelona. The reporter says that Bayern want Barca to pay 50 million euros for the striker, not including add-ons, but more importantly, want it paid upfront instead of in installments. The officials at the Bavarian Giants believe Barca will cease to exist in 1 or 2 years given their financial situation. They don't want to be left hanging in the event that the La Liga outfit are in fact liquidated. Juan Laporta and co had most recently offered 40 million euros plus add-ons for Lewandowski, but would it ultimately amount to 50 million if the conditions were met. However, it was rejected, but it did kickstart informal talks between the two clubs. The journalists believe that Barcelona are still the best positioned club to sign the Poland captain, but that there is a huge market for the player, including and not limited to Chelsea, who have been in what seems to be a talk of war with Barca during this summer window. PSG too were interested in recruiting him this summer, which could be rekindled despite them renewing Kylian Mbappe for next season. Why this saga seems to be dragged out, Lewa has asked Barca to sort out his future before the 12th of July, which is when Bayern kick off their training for pre-season. He does not want to return to the Munich camp, especially after everything he has said during the last month. Bayern too are unwilling to host an undisgruntled Lewandowski at their club, knowing fully well it could cost them trophies, and should Barca call their bluff and refuse to pay the 50 million upfront, this could turn out to be the transfer drama of the year. So the Lewandowski saga still complicated as ever, and to the extent of Bayern giving some kind of stupid reasons about they believing that Barcelona will not exist in some years to come, and of course being part of the reason why they just don't want to let their star man Lewandowski leave just like that. But of course their condition is Barca must pay 50 million euros upfront, excluding add-ons, and should not be paid in installments, should be paid upfront. And that is something that Barca will find it so difficult, right? But let's see. I think Bayern are just making this thing just complicated for no reason. And further, it also makes the relationship between the two clubs really bad, really bad, on and off the pitch, really bad. And nobody saw this coming. How will you even expect to keep an unhappy player in your team? So it's interesting to see where all this ends up. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.